Today, could you look 10 years younger in 10 minutes?
I want the genie in the bottle. That's what I want.
From a 90-second eye lift
Better than a needle.
to a $12 serum.
Can I take this home?
She's like, I'm taking this on with me.
The 3 anti-aging products that stunned our plastic surgeon.
90 seconds later, I thought, oh my gosh, this actually seems to work.
Then, wish you could rock it like Rihanna, Selena, or Julia?
She always looks amazing. She's casual, but she's still very trendy.
The Lookalike team has tips to bring out your inner superstar.
I don't feel like a mom. I feel like a movie star.
Plus,
We got wild.
get Oprah-style secrets from the man who's been making her up for more than 2 decades.
You can pop in the audience. I see some of you popping and some of you not popping.
Today's show, we're going to be looking at looking and feeling your best at any age. Now, when it comes to our looks, I'm a big believer, and I've said this time and again, in lotions and potions. You know, when it comes to looking younger and just keeping your skin in good condition. I've been using creams and lotions on my face since literally I was in my teenage years. But today, we're literally going to ask the question, can you get the same results or close to the same results that you might otherwise get under the knife from facial surgery? So we're going to be talking about products versus plastic surgery. Here to help us out, our good friend Dr. Yoon is back. Hi, Dr. Yoon. Nice to see you again. So today we're going to be talking about 3 different products, and we'll go over what each of them claims to do. The first thing we're going to be looking at, though, is
Wrinkles.
crow's feet.
Yeah, so let's take a look at crow's feet wrinkles. Now, we all get wrinkles as we get older, and typically they occur in similar areas with all of us. And so this is an example of crow's feet wrinkles, wrinkles that are around the eyes. And whenever people come to see me and they say, well, I don't like my crow's feet, I tell them that the best treatment is Botox. So Botox is the best treatment for crow's feet
Even around
wrinkles.
your eyes?
Yes, now it's FDA approved for treatment between the eyes, but we often use it off-label for the crow's feet wrinkles as well.
Really?
And so let's take a look at some before and afters of that. Now this is the same person after I treated her with Botox.
Wow.
And it can really smooth that out.
Beautiful,
So it's a good result, a great result you get with it. But the negative is it is a procedure. And so we do have to use a needle, and a needle that we inject Botox into. And so this is an invasive procedure. A lot of people don't want to spend $500 on it and get a needle stuck in.
I was going to say, how much does it cost?
$500 is the average price.
For one treatment?
Yep, and it lasts about 3 to 4 months. Okay.
So that's a couple $1,000s a year.
And you can get bruising from it. So a lot of people, they say, you know what, I want to get the results of Botox, but how can I get it without surgery?
Okay.
So we're going to talk about now, this is the Dermasilk 90-second eye lift. And what they promise is they claim to erase the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles and eliminate the appearance of crow's feet, and to make you look instantly 10 years younger in just 90 seconds.
I like that.
Now, Suzanne is up for that. I mean, who wouldn't be 10 years younger in 90 seconds? That's a pretty big
It's
claim.
a big claim, but
now,
that's
when they
claim.
make claims like that on a box, do they have to make disclaimers too, or?
Well, it's different. Now, because this is a cosmetic is held to very different standards than actual medical treatment. So when Botox actually came out with their treatment, the FDA keeps them to really rigorous standards of how they advertise and everything. With cosmetics, you can put
It's
a lot
much
more.
broader.
Yeah, because it's not medically regulated like an actual drug like Botox.
It's more subjective, yeah.
Exactly. So we're going to go ahead and apply the Dermasilk, okay? And let's see how you do with this. And we're going to let this sit for a while, and obviously we're going to come back later on to see how she does.
Yeah, we're going to let all of these products work for more than 90 seconds, of course. We're going to let them soak in and, you know, develop to the fullest of their product's ability. And then we're going to check back in later with before and afters of the products versus the surgical or invasive procedures.
All right. So the great thing about this product is there are a number of different things in it, and we'll talk about it afterwards,
Okay.
that are active that seem to help with the wrinkles and the puffiness around the eyes.
Okay, we're going to let Suzanne kind of marinate. Is that?
That sounds good.
Okay, let's move on.
All right.
So, now, is this the product that actually sparked this segment?
Exactly.
Really?
Yep.
Dr. Yoon called one of our producers up and said, wow, I got to tell you about this thing that just happened. What happened?
Well, I had a patient come to see me, and she said, I hate the puffiness under my eyes.
Yeah.
And she said, the only thing I can do to get rid of it is this cream I bought for $15 online. And I said, okay, yeah, you're not telling me the truth. There's something wrong here. And she said, no, I'm serious. And she put it on, and literally 90 seconds later, I said, oh my gosh, this actually seems to work.
Wow.
So it was crazy. And now since then, I bought a bunch for my mom and all of her friends and everything. So I thought, let's try this. Let's see how this really works on people who want to get that surgical result without actually having it.
Okay, so everybody suffers from this. Men and women complain about bags, no?
So one of the things that we get as we get older are puffiness or bags under our eyes, okay? And this is something that we all hate as we get older. Let's take a look at a picture who has a picture of somebody who has that with normal aging. And you can see this is very typical of somebody in 50s and 60s, okay? And what this is caused by is fat that protrudes as we get older. Every time I get in my car in the morning, I accidentally look in my reflection. I go, because I know I've got that.
Yeah.
But how do you treat it? Well, we can treat it surgically with a lower eyelid lift. So let's take a picture of somebody who's had that done. And this is that same person who I did a lower eyelid lift on. It's removing the fat. So I put a patient under a general anesthetic. I use an instrument like this to actually pull open the eyelid. I put something like this, I'll have you hold on to it if you'd like, over the eyeball, and it actually protects the eyeball, and make a little incision in the eyelid and remove the fat. And it takes about a week to 2 weeks recovery. It costs about $3,500. And people really...
That's actually less than I thought you were going to say. On the other hand, this costs less than $15.
Okay, so this is called Sudden Change Undereye Firming Serum. And this serum claims to work flawlessly with or without your foundation to lift, tighten, and smooth out under-eye problems. So you can go out looking younger in just 3 minutes.
Wow.
$11.99.
$11.99?
Plus shipping and handling.
I tell you what, sister, if this works, we're splitting a case.
Okay, so I'm going to put a little of this on my finger here, and we're just going to go ahead and apply it under your eyes. And this has actually something called serum albumin in it, and that's a product that's used in certain firming creams to try to improve the firmness of skin. It's important if you put this on not to get it in your eyes. We want a sudden change in the skin, not a sudden change in your vision.
That's it. Good to know.
We'll let that sit for a little while.
As long as I look good, I don't care. All right, we're going to let Jill marinate, and we're on to lovely Liz. Now, what are we going to talk about with Liz? Hi, Liz.
Hi,
I'm Rachel. You
I
look
finally
lovely.
got to meet you.
Better hug it out.
You look better in person and on Facebook.
Well, thank you, Liz. So, Liz, what's your issue? What are we going to talk about here?
Well, I'm approaching the ripe old age of 62 next month.
You're stunning. You're a beautiful woman.
Rather than go through plastic surgery, because I have a second home in Palm Springs, California, and my girlfriends have gone through plastic surgery, and it's like, ouch. I've been there. I've seen it. And
you don't
I
know
didn't
if
care
you want
for
to.
it.
Yeah,
no.
you don't want to go there.
No, definitely not.
So are we going to see it before and after?
Yes. So as we get older, 50s and 60s, what happens? Our skin starts to sag. We start to get wrinkles. So let's take a look at somebody who has typical aging, somebody in her 50s. So you look, she's got some wrinkles, a little bit of jowling, a little bit of loose skin.
Yeah.
So this is very typical aging. And how you treat that when people come in, they say, I don't like the sagness on my face, I don't like my wrinkles. I tell them the only real treatment is a facelift. So let's take a look at a facelift result here. And this is a patient, one of mine, I did a facelift on her. Yeah, you can see the wrinkles are better, the jowls are better, things look nice and tighter. But this is surgery, and this is a 3-hour surgery where I use a scalpel like this, okay, to cut the skin around the ears, and then I pull the skin and the muscle back, remove the fat of the jowls, and it can really get a nice result. It's about a 1-week downtime, costs about $8,000.
But only 1 week downtime. Again, that's surprising to me. $8,000.
Yep, $8,000.
It's an investment.
A handful of pain pills, and it takes about a week to really start looking good, but swelling can last several months typically, though.
Wow,
so
really?
Usually people look pretty good by then. You can kind of hide it. You hold your, hair over your ears, hide your scars, that type of thing.
Now, what is the potion or lotion we're talking about here?
This is the Nutralift Instant Results, and this claims to give you less lines and wrinkles within 10 minutes, okay? Now, unlike the Sudden Change Eye Serum, this we can put over all the face. So we're going to put a little more on you today, and let's see how this works.
I better hold her pretty locks back here.
So we're going to go ahead and apply it here to the face. Now, this is an interesting treatment because it has something in it called GABA, or gamma-aminobutyric acid. And what that is it's a relatively newly studied protein, a neurotransmitter actually, that can help relax smooth muscles. So the idea is muscles that can create wrinkles, it helps.
Three lovely volunteers here, and we're looking at products versus surgery. So let's remind everybody where we started with Suzanne with the crow's feet. Let's take another quick look at the medical before and after, right?
Yep, so these are the crow's feet. We talked about that. They're treated typically with Botox, really nice before and after, but it's a procedure, about $500. You can get bruising from it, needle injections, that type of thing.
And it only lasts for about 3 to 6 months.
Yep, 3 to 6 months depending on the person.
Okay, then Suzanne tested out this product here called the Dermasilk 90-second eye lift.
Yep, and so the Dermasilk, the reason why this can or cannot work is obviously the different ingredients that they put in that are special. And the big special thing, number one, is soy protein. And you talk about soy for food and all that, but did you know it can also make you look younger?
No, I didn't know that, really.
So soy protein can actually act as a moisturizer to help to plump out wrinkles and to decrease, aging in that area.
Well, let's take a look at the product before and after here. She's going to look right into Jimmy's camera right over there, and we're going to see. Well, that is it. Honestly, it's a pretty noticeable difference. Yep. I mean, it really is. What do you think?
I see a big. Now that I see it on the camera, I see a big difference. A
Yeah.
big difference. Even underneath and on the sides, big difference.
So, but in addition to that, the soy protein, so that helps with the moisturization and filling in, plumping out wrinkles. The other thing this has is 3 different anti-inflammatory ingredients. And so the reason why they also put it under the eyes is it can help soothe the skin, decrease the puffiness.
Yep. It's a good product.
How did you feel then, after looking at that?
I liked it. I really do. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
And would you buy it, you think?
Yeah, I would. I definitely
And these
would.
were all really affordable, too. I mean, these fit a lot more into everyone's income level than surgery would.
Yeah.
And this one's $39.99. You can buy it online.
Not bad.
Dermasilk 90-second eye lift.
Thank you, Suzanne. Let's see what's up next here. Now, Jill tried the one that one of your own patients called you about originally.
Yep, so the next one was the Sudden Change Undereye Firming Serum. But before we do that, let's take a look at how I would treat it with surgery.
Medical before and after.
Puffiness under the eyes, treated by a lower blepharoplasty, lower eyelid lift, 1-hour surgery, about $3,500, 1-2-week downtime.
But it's only a one-time procedure, so that's
one-time
good.
procedure.
Yeah.
It's a permanent procedure.
Okay, so let's take a look at the product results here, the before and after. Wow.
That's pretty crazy.
Pretty good. So, what do you think about it's hard for you to turn your head and see yourself, but I'm sure you looked in the mirror when you were backstage.
I did.
What did you think about the product?
I saw an immediate reaction, and that's what I think you want, instead of the creams every night, and never
for
see
months
anything.
and months,
yes.
right?
And so now this was immediate, and that's great.
What this is it's based off of serum albumin, and basically what that is, it's a protein that you can use that will actually tighten up into a film, and it's like shrink wrap for the wrinkles under your eyes. And that's what's happened. So you put it under the bags, it gradually shrinks down, the wrinkles and the puffiness goes away.
And tightens it together.
Yes. And the big thing, about this is if you've got an event to go to, let's say you have a wedding, you've got a class reunion, or you're going to go on a date.
On a date night.
Yeah,
right.
and you want to get rid of those bags. By the time this wears off several hours later, your date's long gone. They're not going to know.
Another good one. Okay, the lovely Liz. Now, Liz tried for the whole deal here. First of all, hot as heck. How old did you say you were?
I'll be 62 next month.
I mean, really? I don't think she needs to lift anything. It's all looking great. But
wrinkles, loose skin happens to everybody as we get in our 50s and 60s.
Every human, yeah.
So let's take a look at somebody who had a facelift to treat that. And as you can see, much nicer wrinkles, skin is tighter, but it's about an $8,000 surgery, 3 hours, or $8,000, for it, 3 hours of surgery, little scars around the ears.
And you do end up with the telltale scars by your ears.
Yeah, and usually you can hide them. They usually heal icely, but it's still surgery.
How does this, well, first of all, let's look at her before and after with the cream, and you can tell us what's in it and how it works. Wow. What do you think about the difference in the before and after?
It's like night and day. I'm packing this in my suitcase tomorrow.
Well, it's 3 for 3. What's in this cream?
So the Nutralift Instant Results basically has one big thing called GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid. And what this is, it's a neuropeptide that theoretically can block the transmission of nerve impulses to muscles that create wrinkles. So certain wrinkles of our face are created by muscles. Wrinkles up here, you know, crow's feet, all that stuff.
Right.
And that's why we inject Botox, okay?
Well, to relax those muscles.
Exactly. The idea behind a cream like this is if you can get that type of product through the skin down to the muscles, it can help to smooth it out and give her more smoother, radiant-looking skin.
Wow. So really what this cream did was it sort of relaxed her face a little.
I think so, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Definitely very
not bad. And that one was under $60, right? Like $59.
This is $59. You can buy it online.
Well, ladies, I think we got 3 winners right out of the ballpark. We got 3 great tips out of that. Thank you so much, Doc.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. We'll see you when we see everybody. Bye-bye. Tomorrow, everybody loves lasagna.